Hey guys, it's Chris with DadBod Gaming, and today I want to tell you...
Gentlemen, I have a plan.
I'm going to tell you how in a single week you can make
$1 million.
So guys, we've all been there before, either on our first character or a new project that we're working on. We're getting the build ready, we've got it leveled, we're checking out the gear in the guild traders, and then you see it. That ridiculous price on the piece of gear that you have to have. And you're just left sitting there thinking,
How about new?
are you just having no luck with farming gold mats because RNGesus is just not favoring you at the moment, but at the same time you just can't seem to afford the mats to gold out your build?
Emotional, damn it!
Well, let me assure you, all hope is not lost.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
That's exactly what I'm telling you. What if I told you I normally make about 1 million plus gold a week just passively, while playing the game and doing the things that I want to do? I'm here to tell you that making gold isn't that hard in ESO if you're pointed in the right direction. And I'm here to point you in the right direction. So here are some tips and tricks to help you make a ton of gold in just a week. Let's get started. So there are a ton of ways to make gold in ESO. I mean, you can go ahead and just drop right in and start killing enemies, and you'll usually get a low amount of gold. You can do a quest, turn it in, usually get gold. Opening a chest or a thieves trope, you'll usually get a small chunk too. Selling vampire bites and werewolf bites for 5k a week, not really helping either. Didn't think so. Vampire bites literally suck at making gold.
No, 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 no.
Stop doing things that leave a bad taste in your mouth. There's easier ways to make gold in ESO, so it's time to just
wake the fuck up.
And these kind of things you've done since you started playing the game, right? And look how far it's got you. Nowhere, right? Or else you wouldn't be watching this video. The most efficient way to make gold in ESO is by selling to other players, and you do that through guild traders normally. That outrageous gear that you couldn't afford, you remember that?
Oh my god, who the hell cares?
That's how they make their money. They farm gear, mats, motifs, just anything that they know people will need constantly and will be able to sell quickly. I've said it before in my videos and I'll say it again. Being able to do things quickly in ESO is your best chance at success. If you are leveling, if you are trying to get gold, if you are trying to farm gear, all this stuff requires you to do it quickly in order to do it effectively. Now keep in mind that this can be tricky with gear because it means learning the meta, and as you can tell, there are shifts in the meta from patch to patch. Sets like Mother Sorrow, Pariah, Briarheart, Necropotence, Spinners, and Spriggans, along with a lot of others, do tend to be highly sought after, so they sell really good. Not only do they sell good, they sell for a lot depending on what item you get. Alright, so from here, in order to find a guild that you can join, you want to go to your start menu, go down to social, go down to guild, and then you're going to go down to guild finder. At the top here you're going to see where it says active applications. That's going to be your applications that you've put in that's not been approved or denied yet. So the next part down is going to be application message. Usually this will be whenever your application gets denied for whatever reason. Below that is browse guilds. Where it says select one, you're going to select an option there. It's going to give you a drop down box with a bunch of listings. If you're wanting a traders guild, just go to the trading, and then it's going to pop up a bunch of listings for all the guilds that are currently trader guilds. As you can see where their guild trader is, if they have one. It's in the center of the box right under their name. These will tell you, like in the blue here, it says weekly dues, 10K. You'll see how much the dues are if they have any dues in there, because usually they'll top it out in their message. You can also see how many active members they have at the top right corner of their box. This one has active members 434. This is how many people are in the guild, so you know if the guild is at 500, which is full, you shouldn't really apply to that, because they won't be able to accept you until someone leaves or gets booted from the guild. As for some of the guild trader locations you'll want to look for, one of them is going to be in Deshawn at the city of Mournhold. Another one that is really good is going to be in Grotwood in Eldenroot. In order to locate the Eldenroot traders, you'll have to go out the south exit once you arrive at the Way Shrine. And the last one I'm going to be going over is going to be in Stormhaven in the Wayrest city. The thing that all three of these cities have in common is it's where you go to pick up your undaunted pledges. So these cities stay busy at all times. That's why the guild traders are so good. Another way to make money through guild traders is buying and flipping items. This is where you find an item, like this Inferno Staff of the Spinner, for example, being sold for super cheap, 5K in this case. You buy it and resell it for the actual value, which in this case would be around 25,000. I've bought a lot of things over my ESO career and resold them for a big profit. Before you start farming to sell in a guild trader, you need a guild trader. Most guild traders in good locations will have weekly dues that you have to pay. On Xbox NA, most of them charge around 10K a week. But Chris, that's insane. Why would I pay so much to sell stuff? Well, that's a good question, Jimmy. Wait, your name is Jimmy, right? The dues help the guild maintain that really good spot. If you're paying 10K to make 100K a week, it's still a really good profit. Gotta spend money to make money. Utilizing a guild trader at its most is like running a business. Location and product is everything. You can actually be in up to 5 guilds at a time. So if you want to be in 5 trader guilds, then go for it. The main thing is to make sure that you keep all 30 of your guild slots full as often as possible. So the next thing is getting the 10K, right? I'll tell you ways that you can do this fairly easily, and these will be things that you can do in your spare time while waiting on your stuff to sell in the traders as well, once you actually get a trader going. While you're farming, you can link the really good stuff in zone chat to sell and see if anyone's interested in buying it from you, either in person or through cash on delivery, which is COD. This is when you mail them the item, but in the mail you request the gold. Do not, I repeat, do not send the mail without requesting the gold via the mail itself, or else they just may take the item and not pay you, and you can't do a damn thing about it. This is really handy when you have a lot of good items but your trader slots are all full. Please take note as well that when you link your stuff into the zone chat to try and sell it directly, do not price your stuff in the zone chat, because it's a really bad idea. When you link your item, just follow up with a WTS, which means wanting to sell. They are a lot of trolls out there, and they just wait for someone to mess up so that they can have some fun. So just wait for someone to whisper you and ask you about how much you want for it, and then feel free to just whisper that person directly to tell them the price. Merchants. They buy your crap items and they don't complain. Loot everything and sell the junk to them. Enough said. One thing to note though about merchants is that If you have any kind of like spare crowns, one really useful thing with merchants is that if you have the spare crowns, the merchant is probably the best thing I've ever invested into from the crown store. So if you don't want to stop and go to a nearby town, they really do come in handy when you can just sell on the spot. If you have very little in your inventory and are grinding dolmens or mobs just to level up, you'll probably end up with a full inventory every few minutes. You know, selling 30 to 40 items can net you around 2 to 3k pretty easily most of the time, if not more. Another way to make money in ESO is by fencing. Fencing is when you sell to a merchant that will buy your stolen items in ESO. Most zones will have areas where there's around maybe 10 or so NPCs that have set up like a camp or maybe just gathered for some reason, and you can actually kill them. Killing them will net you a hefty bounty, so be careful, but the items that you get from them you can sell to the fencer and the thieves hideouts in the main towns throughout the game. Another way to use the fencer is just go around stealing from containers and pickpocketing NPCs for things to fence. That always works too. Sometimes you get some really cool items as well. Something else that you've probably never even noticed, you know, over time while you've been playing, you've probably accumulated a metric ton of field soul gems. I know I have. On each of my tunes, I probably have at least 3 or so stacks of 200, not to mention the 9 or 10 stacks of them that I have in my bank. Selling a stack of soul gems to a merchant will get you 6k gold right there on the spot, no questions asked. If you need quick cash, that's an easy little trick. Just don't sell all your gems and never be able to res. It's not worth it. So the last thing that I want to cover in regards to making gold in ESO is your daily writs. This can be done once per day, per character, per account. So if you're like me, you have 20 characters, you can actually do the writs 20 times a day. I'm not going to do that. But if you do your writs, turning each of the individual writs in for each skill line, so like your clothing, blacksmithing, woodworking, all that, will net you some gold, some experience, but you also get rewards for doing it. And if you get really lucky, you might get a sealed master's writ that, if it's for enough writ vouchers, can be sold for a good amount of money. You can also get surveys, which will get you a ton of mats once you find that little secret location it leads to. And just in getting those mats and refining them, you may get a lot of gold items, which would help you either gold out your gear or maybe make a little bit of gold on the side. But overall, it's still a pretty reliable way to make gold starting out during the beginning of your day on ESO, and it's really important to do those too. So alright guys, that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching and sticking around. I hope this helped you. Now, this is how I make my 1 million gold. I cannot guarantee you that you'll make 1 million your first week of doing this, but if you keep it up, you'll definitely get there. I'm going to link some previous videos in the comments in the description, and that way you can see where I farm my biggest selling items, and how I farm my mats to sell gold items and stuff like that. And I hope this helps. Till the next video, peace.